Two Ball State alumni will be playing together in this year's Super Bowl. How their chemistry from college followed them to the biggest stage in football.
Ball State is teaming up with the Education Department to create new children's books. Discover what this means for the future of education.
The Indiana Department of Transportation met to discuss new plans for roundabouts. Find out what this means for the streets of Muncie.
A support group in Winchester is lifting the spirits of those involved. See how they are impacting the community.
Freezing rain is making its way into Muncie right now. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, and thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Lauren Burris.
And I'm Cameron No.
Two former Cardinals look to compete in the Super Bowl this Sunday. Although they've always played on the opposite side of the field, sharing a locker room is no new experience.
Now the current Chiefs athletes Carson Steele and Nick Jones, this team chemistry started as a junior leader and a promising freshman in the Cardinal locker room. NewsLink Indiana's Max Robson got to see this chemistry in a NewsLink exclusive with the two athletes.
Having a mentor and the leader is important for the growth of any athlete. And for running back Carson Steele, Nick Jones was the first leader that he had in the Cardinal locker room.
Coming in my freshman year at Ball State, freaked out, didn't know what to do. And, he was kind of, our big leader. And, he really helped me to, just like it was every other football game, that you've played your whole life.
And as that locker room leader, Jones saw Steele's skill set and potential far before the NFL debut.
Love it, man. Guys don't understand how, young he was when he came in. I got to see that raw, unadjusted, pretty much still high school version, Carson Steele, before, the business comes in and it changes a little bit when you're in the NFL. I got to see that version of him, and he got to see, the college version of me. I was, the old head, the guy, the leader. So it was a great dynamic. I love that guy. Everybody knows what he did when he was in the MAC. He was one of those guys you was just happy to have on your team and not go against him.
And after a year apart, the two have finally reunited in Kansas City, being able to create new memories as well as reminiscing on the old ones together.
It's so special to me. A lot of people don't realize, Nick Jones was kind of our leader when I, came into Ball State. And, so being able to learn with him, work with him, play football, stuff like that, being able to grow a relationship with him, and now, playing professional football with him too. Just been an amazing experience. It's really cool to have somebody, kind of tag along with you through the way.
I think it's so cool that we get to, we have our insiders and we have those flashbacks, man, those remember wins, when we around here, and we can just, think about the good old days while experiencing something that's special. Like you said, not a lot of guys get to experience this. So it's definitely a badge of honor for us.
As these former Cardinals soar to new heights in the NFL, they have a chance to share many unique opportunities and experiences, including the fight for the Lombardi against the Eagles. In Muncie, Max Robson.
Yeah, chirp.
NewsLink, Indiana.
To watch these former Cardinals compete in the big game, tune in to Fox Live at 6:30 Eastern Time on Sunday.
There are always projects occurring here at Ball State University. One team in particular wants to impact the Muncie community with a children's book. NewsLink Indiana's Andy Zelaya takes you behind the scenes of the project.
I think being a voice for these kids is really important.
Children's books is how we learn those little important details of life, whether that be the importance of being kind even when no one is looking, or that nobody is perfect. Ball State students are creating a book that focuses on social and emotional learning for children of color and gifted children. Libby Miller is one of the few research assistants that are a part of the project. The idea behind the children's book comes from how there are a lot of kids that don't feel represented within their community.
There are a lot of kids out there that don't feel represented, and it's important for them to know that there are people out there advocating for them and that there are people out there that care about them. And it's important to see children like them and themselves represented in a book in a positive way to help foster a positive self-identity.
The team is already a few steps ahead when starting the project, as their project leader, Dr. Ophelia Desmond, has made a book before. The team has a plan on the way the book will be made including on how to get funding.
That I've done personally, I did a lot of storyboarding. I researched a lot into the components of social emotional learning, and I researched a lot of children's books that are similar, and I created part of the grant proposal.
Miller discusses that the book should be written within the next year and how there will be focus groups for the book itself. The book will also be implemented in and around the Muncie area,
with parents and teachers and children to see how the book does in terms of like success with teaching social emotional skills, success with being culturally responsive, and being a resource that's appropriate for teachers and parents.
The team will continue to promote their projects through getting grants and discussing the project within the community. In Muncie, Andy Zelaya, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you want more information, email Libby Miller at her Ball State email.
Today, the Indiana Department of Transportation hosted a meeting to discuss 4 new roundabout plans. They discussed the intersections of Main Street and Madison Street, Jackson Street and Madison Street, Main Street and Hackley Street, and Jackson Street and Hackley Street. These roundabouts are being made in hopes of reducing the frequency of overall crashes, along with the severity of crashes, and improving traffic flow at the State Road 32 intersections.
In Winchester, people are coming together to share their experiences and find support in their community. This group is welcoming all kinds of needs for support, such as addiction, mental health, disordered eating, handling grief, and more. Taz Miller, the group organizer, shares his experience with addiction support and what led him to create this group.
All the places that I've been since I got sober, like Anderson, everywhere, they all have this really big recovery or support community. You know, everywhere I've been has all these meetings and everything, and I came back here and it's like there's nothing. And it just it's kind of sad.
They plan to continue meeting each week and progress towards some event planning as well. If you're looking for a support group like this, join them from 6 to 7 p.m. at the First Presbyterian Church in Winchester. Everyone is welcome. You know, I was really enjoying the warm weather on Monday, but it was really cold today.
Yep, I had to pull out my winter coat again. I was really enjoying it, and now I'm sad, so that's great.
All right, let's pass it to Joe for a look at weather.
Well, that cold has contributed to this winter system that's making its way through our area right now. We currently have a ice storm and wintry mix making its way throughout much of Indiana, along with some snow and rain as well. So a wide variety of precipitation currently going throughout our area. Our current temperatures right now are 32 degrees in Muncie, 32 in Indianapolis, 34 in Terre Haute, and 40 down in Evansville. So pretty chilly from where we were a couple days ago. But what do I have in store for later on in the show? We have freezing rain tonight, overcast for the weekend, and cold wind chills, all in my full weather forecast.
Thanks, Joe. The music world helped raise more than $120 million to benefit those affected by the Los Angeles wildfires. The Fire Aid concert last week is on track to bring in more than $100 million. The rest of the money came in during the Grammy telecast over the weekend and at events before the awards ceremony. A representative for the Recording Academy said the money raised will go to several organizations, including the California Community Foundation. The funds will be available for immediate needs as well as long-term recovery from the wildfires.
Coming up, price increases causes Disney Plus to lose subscribers. Find out what this means for the company.
And America delays tariffs from Mexico for a month. Learn how this affects imported goods after the break.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really hard for me.
Hey there, Hoosiers. Are you ready to give your child a head start on their future? Indiana 529 savings plans are a simple way to save for their education. Plus, there are some great tax benefits. The best part? It's not just for college. Indiana 529 can be used for tech schools, trade programs, apprenticeships, and more. Start with just $10 a month at myindiana529.com to help them reach their dreams.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing. And getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life. This is my time. Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started. This is my time. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Find your place in space. This is my time. Space for All.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Disney Plus lost 700,000 subscribers, while Hulu gained 1.6 million after price increases took effect in October. Disney owns both streaming services. The subscriber loses at Disney Plus were not as bad as analysts expected, and Hulu's gain was better than expected. Meanwhile, the animated hit Moana 2 helped the parent company's sales. For the last 3 months of 2024, overall, Disney reported revenue that was up 5% year over year.
New data reveals how much more reliant the United States has become on Mexico for imported goods. Today, the Commerce Department released trade details stating the U.S. imported a total of $505 billion worth of goods from Mexico last year. That was a $30 billion increase from 2023 and a new record. Mexico is the top exporter of goods to the U.S., followed by China and Canada. The new data comes after Mexico and the U.S. reached an agreement to delay a 25% tariff on Mexican goods for a month. If it does go into effect, the tariffs would likely raise prices for consumers.
Google has updated its AI ethics policy, and it removes a promise to not use the technology to pursue weapons and surveillance. In a previous version of the principles seen by CNN on the Internet Archive Wayback Machine, the company included applications it won't pursue. One of those weapons or other technology intended to injure people, other technology used to surveil beyond international norms. That language is now gone from the updated policy page. Google first published its AI principles in 2018, years before the technology became almost ubiquitous.
What are those temperatures looking like for the rest of the week? Find out after the break.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
While I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 Americans are sick of the divisions in our country? But there's one small step we can take to remember that we're still connected. All over America, strangers with different political views are coming together to talk about their lives, not politics, and discovering they actually have a lot in common. Because even if we don't see eye to eye, we can still talk, heart to heart. So let's talk, for a change. Learn more at takeonesmallstep.org.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back. We currently have a variety of precipitation through our area. These pinks and purples signify freezing rain and a wintry mix respectively, and we also have some rain and snow in the mix as well. So a wide variety of precipitation right now. This is part of a much more broad system ranging from Illinois all the way to New England behind me. They're going to give much of winter weather to much of the country. Now, as we look at the current temperatures, we're going to see, zooming into our hometown temperatures, 32 in Muncie, 34 in Portland, 31 in Newcastle, right around that freezing point, which is leading to this freezing rain and rain shower. A little bit of uncertainty there about just how much freezing rain we're going to get, but we should figure that out in the next coming hours. Looking at the 24-hour temperature change, not much difference on this map. We were quite cooler a few hours ago, but now we're pretty much where we were last night. We're 1 degree cooler here in Muncie and a couple degrees cooler down in southern Indiana, but overall, not much change from this time yesterday. We're back down to those cooler temperatures. And like I mentioned earlier, we are right at that freezing point tonight, 32 degrees with winds blowing east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Those showers are going to be freezing rain for the first part of the night, but then as we get closer to midnight and after that, that might just turn into more mainly rain showers than anything, but they could lead to potential hazards like slippery roads and just slick conditions outside, so make sure you take that into account if you go outside this evening. And that could potentially also be in effect for tomorrow morning as well when you take the kids to school or go to work. It's going to be 40 degrees in the morning at 8 a.m., 40 at noon, and then when we get to 5 p.m., it's going to be 41 degrees. Those clouds are going to be lingering throughout much of the day, but they're going to clear up pretty quickly as we go throughout the afternoon. We're going to get mostly sunny skies by 5 p.m., while those winds are a little bit blustery throughout the day, blowing anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. And that's going to lead to some wind chills, but nothing like what we've seen a couple weeks ago. But if you're like me and really started to get used to those 50s and 60s on Monday, this is going to be quite the drastic departure, because look at this on Friday, 15 degrees, 13 degrees up in Marion, so pretty chilly from where we were just a couple days ago, and it's definitely a stark contrast. Looking at the precision cast right now, again, here is that freezing rain mix that we are seeing right now. That is going to be moving out of our viewing area by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, leaving us with just mostly clouds. There's going to be a little bit of sun on Friday, but again, just look at those overcast skies for the next couple days before we get into Saturday, where a new system will come in and give us more freezing rain here and possibly even some snow up further north in Indiana. And now as we go into the 7-day forecast, we're going to see, again, sunny on Friday with 36 degrees. On Saturday, an 80% chance of rain with highs in the low 40s. And then as we go throughout the week, mostly sunny, mostly cloudy conditions, 35 degrees, 37 degrees, 32 on Tuesday with a chance of some slight flurries, while those lows are going to linger in the mid-20s throughout much of the week. So I don't know about you guys, but I just got so used to that 60s and 50s really quick, and it's really disappointing now.
Oh, it definitely is, and especially today walking outside, I almost forgot my umbrella, so.
Yeah, yeah, not ideal for a day like this.
No, definitely not. Thanks, Joe.
There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Jake Dickman has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Lauren and Cameron. We'll give you a live look into Worthington Arena following the Ball State women's basketball game. Plus, Ball State men's volleyball ramps up for conference play. All this and more next in sports.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Students who can read by the end of 3rd grade are 35% more likely to graduate. I'm Dr. Katie Jenner, Indiana Secretary of Education, here to tell you how reading 30 minutes per day can improve the trajectory of a child's life. Whether you're reading with your child or they are reading independently, this is one of the most important things you can do to help them succeed. So this school year, please encourage your child to continue reading. It's a small habit that makes a big difference.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh. My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jake Dickman with sports. Ball State women's basketball faces off against Bowling Green State University tonight. NewsLink Indiana's Emma Deaton is live in Worthen Arena with more. Emma, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Jake. The women's basketball team just took yet another win and dished out a 71-51 road loss to Bowling Green tonight. Now, I have to say, what a way to celebrate Girls and Women's in Sports Day. Thank you, cards. Some key players we saw here were strong starts from seniors Alex Richard and Allie Becky to give the Falcons a contest right from the start. After the first half, senior Madeline Bischoff also started knocking in some baskets from deep, hitting some threes. And I think it is safe to say that the team is going dancing this year in the NCAA tournament, and they have put the country on notice. They've also moved 11-0 in the MAC conference after tonight, setting a new program record. A team effort here, but it is safe to say that Allie Becky is leading the women's team to the NCAA tournament this year. Live from Worthen Arena, Emma Deaton, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks, Emma. Staying on the hardwood, Ball State men's basketball has a familiar face and a different number. NewsLink Indiana's Dakota Atwood has more.
You may remember Ball State forward in a different jersey number last season. The switch from 33 to 24 was nothing short of generosity.
Well, Jerry came here and he's been wearing 33 his whole life, so I just decided, that it'd be a good teammate move to give it to him because I've only been wearing it for a couple years, like a couple years in high school, then one my freshman year.
33 now worn by Jeremiah Hernandez, a grad transfer from Southern Indiana. For Jones, he didn't want to give it up easy.
At first I wanted to play ones for it, but after that I was like, you know what, I just don't want to be, I didn't want there to be a problem with the team, like fighting over a number, so I thought it wasn't a huge deal to just give it up.
Hernandez, though, happy to have the number 33.
When the conversation came up about the number, it kind of just was just like, I don't know, I'll take a change this year, blah, blah, blah. And, I kind of thought it was just because I was a senior, he gave it up and everything like that. And so I really appreciated it.
For both players, happy to be wearing their respected numbers and striving for wins for the Cardinal Red and White. In Muncie, Dakota Atwood, NewsLink, Indiana.
To keep it in Worthen, the men's volleyball team prepares for MEVA conference play, kicking off Thursday against Purdue Fort Wayne. NewsLink Indiana's Calvin Scott hits the court for more.
Ball State men's volleyball sits at a record of 7-3 going into MEVA conference play starting off against Purdue Fort Wayne. Head coach Donnie Cruz looks forward to seeing the Cardinals unlocking their potential ahead of MEVA conference play.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good non-conference slate and learned a lot about ourselves and figured out that we're a group that definitely has the potential to do something special this season with our conference play, and it's been a really good week of training leading into Fort Wayne.
The Cardinals' journey to a 7-3 record was not the easiest. Junior Patrick Rogers appreciates how the Cardinals have overcame trials and tribulations throughout that stretch.
Yeah, we had a couple big losses to BYU and Stanford, but all that's just a learning experience, and we get better from those every single day. And I think our effort could be a little bit more, and that translates into defense. And if you get digs in, that's momentum, which is huge for us, especially at home.
MEVA conference play is where the wins matter most for the Cardinals. But for senior Tanashi Indaba-Zujeva, it's all about improving day by day.
To be honest, I just try to get 1% better every time I get an opportunity to step on the court. So and every game is just the same to me, whatever team it is, I just try to perform good, better than the last game.
In Muncie, Calvin Scott, NewsLink, Indiana.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order at the White House today, banning transgender women from competing in women's sports. In doing so, Trump said the war on women's sports is over. The order leans on compliance with Title IX, the law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in education and other education programs or activities that receive federal funding. Now, today is a very important day. It's Women in Sports Day. And what better day for the Ball State women's basketball team to win than today?
It's the perfect day. I mean, all I've heard is them killing it, and so it's great to see that from them.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think it's 19-4 now. I mean, they're just blowing away competition. Tonight was a 20-point victory over Bowling Green, which a lot of people thought was going to be a big test for us, but I guess not. I guess we're just too good for them.
Well, speaking of the Super Bowl, the two former Cardinals going there, I think that's awesome.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's just amazing to see. This is the second straight year we've had two players in the Super Bowl, so it's pretty exciting. Ball State football, maybe on the up and up.
Yeah, kind of makes me want to actually watch. Thanks, Jake. Coming up next, Mattel is releasing a very special Barbie. Find how this relates to Black History Month.
And one final look at your weather after the break.
Yarr! All I wanted was my treasure, and I wound up with a lawsuit from my neighbors, and a belly full of regret.
Thanks, Salty Pete. What a powerful dig story. Okay, great class, everybody. Before we go, let's stand and say the safe digging pledge. Shovels don't know right from wrong, but I do. And I'll always contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before digging. It's the only way to dig.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mattel has a new doll that honors the 45th anniversary of the first ever Black Barbie. It's called Kitty Black Perkins, named after the woman who created the company's historic doll. Black Perkins worked for the toy company for 28 years and was a chief designer for the Barbie brand. Mattel officials say this anniversary doll comes in a scarlet gown inspired by the original doll, released in 1980. The doll is available at participating Target stores and on Target.com.
All right, well, taking a look at that 7-day forecast, we're going to see quite a temperature roller coaster throughout the upcoming week. 46 degrees on Thursday with some breezy conditions, 36 on Friday, mostly sunny skies. That rain precipitation will return on Saturday with a high of 42, but then we're going to go back down to 35 on Sunday, and then we're going to kind of stay in the 30s for the rest of the week. 37 Monday, 32 on Tuesday with that chance of flurries, and then going back into the 20s on Wednesday. Those lows are going to be staying throughout the mid-20s for much of the week. So sadly, those warm temperatures are not coming back anytime soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page and YouTube channel.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.